Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday the 22nd. I I don't know why I'm putting the date on here. I always put. Forgive me. I'm just waking up. My brain is fuzzy. It's the third day of being off. I'll go back to work tomorrow, but usually day two is a day of trying to figure out what I'm doing. Day three is usually like I'm dead. Um, my brain doesn't want to function. Things just kind of seem disconnected. Um, Diane and I have plans to go out and do a bit of shopping that we need to do, or she needs to do, or want to do, I should say. It is what it is. But anyhow, my Bible study this morning was a little bit of a jumble, I should say. Mostly because my brain is not functioning well. I kind of wanted to come on here because I read a bunch of stuff from Facebook. Some of it from friends who live in Florida. Well, Sharon lives in Florida, Lisa lives in Texas, and they've been having cold snap. Now, to them, a cold snap is anything below 70, 65. But they don't know how to deal with anything below 70. And then the other piece of information I was reading was from a group that I'm a member of, and we discuss world events, not events, but world weather, basically, weather from around the world. And one of these people has posted information and backed up his information with information from NASA. Now, according to his information and the information that supports what he was saying, this weather that we're having, these cold anomalies, these weird weather patterns, stem from not just global changes, but from the sun. Now, we all know that the sun has certain determining factors to what our weather is like. Now, according to NASA, if things keep going the way they're going, and we don't know what's going to make a change or not, but these weird weather anomalies, the deep cold in the north, the colder than normal in the south, will continue. Will get worse over the next decade, basically. They're calling for places as far south as Texas getting snow. Now, I know from growing up back in the 80s and well, especially the 80s, snow in places like Arizona and Texas are not unheard of. They're just a rarity. Well, the rarity is going to get less and less. Now, I'm not normally a doomsayer because I try not to dwell on these things because sometimes it causes a negative impact. All I'm saying is just be prepared for anything and everything. Colder winters, more tornadoes, more earthquakes, more tsunamis, more hurricanes. Just be prepared for whatever nature can toss at you. Now, like I said, I'm not a doomsayer, but I'm a person who likes to be prepared for the possibilities of being unable to leave my home because of bad weather, um, alternative ways of keeping warm other than my electrical heat. Because there's been a couple people who've reported during the bad storms that they've had in Canada and Nova Scotia and the northern part of the U.S., as well as Newfoundland and places over in Europe, where they've had week-long power outages due to the extreme winter they're having. They were talking about St. Paul had snowdrifts that packed against houses where people literally open their front door and there's a wall of snow. Um, their cars were buried under snowdrifts and things like that. There was pictures on the internet about it. I'm not I'm not tech savvy enough to put those pictures on this video, but you can look them up. Winter of did they call it winter of '99 or winter of 2000? I can't remember, but yeah, I mean here today is the third day of having chances of snow, gloomy clouds, just yucky weather. For those of us who don't like yucky weather, or those of us who are affected by the yucky weather, like me, during the precursor of a storm, whether it's a rainstorm or a snowstorm, I get energy drain. I basically have little to no energy, or excuse me, my cushion sliding, or I just feel blue. Now, there is a technical term for it or a medical term for it. I can't remember what it is. But once the storm hits, once the clouds open up and dump whatever, hiccups, dump whatever, my energy spikes. I just get energized to the hilt. So it's one of those things where it's just odd. And the only thing I can think of is barometric pressure, because that affects a lot of people. Now, again, I'm not a doomsayer. The Bible does warn us about signs of the upcoming end times. Now, the Bible doesn't state if it's, it doesn't say anything about weather. At least I don't recall if it states anything about worsening weather or weather pattern changes or anything like that. But there is a number of Native American groups that talk about summer becoming winter and winter becoming summer. Flip-flopping seasons, basically. Now, I can't say that I've seen an extreme flip-flop in weather, but I've noticed that our winter has been pushed back further into... It used to be when I was growing up, winter would start as early as November, and you'd see the weather changes in November. Well, lately, within the last 5 years that I can recall, because I don't track these things, I've noticed that we don't get our bad winter storms until mid-January, all the way up until late February. So it's kind of like one of those, is it happening? Well, if it does, it does. But today's weather is right now, I took a glance outside before coming in here, because this room has no windows, and I'll explain why in a second. But I took a gander outside while I was making my tea, and, it was overcast. It looked like it could do anything at any moment. I checked my weather radar, and it looks like we're supposed to be getting rain it's very interesting because where I live, we've got the I-44 corridor from Springfield to St. Louis, and along the I-40 along the I-44 route was like green, which means rain, but everything around that was like purple, which usually means freezing rain. Pink is snow, but I didn't see any pink, and my radar only goes a couple hours, so it only went up to like 4:30, 5:30, 4:30, 5:30. But it doesn't look like it's gonna hit us until like noon or later. Now, Jerry and I said depending on the weather, depending on what we do. Now, I trust Jerry Ann with her driving. She's great at driving in all conditions. I can handle rain. I can handle freezing rain. I can handle dry snow. In other words, it's not dry snow to me is basically fluffy light snow, and it's not sticking, and it's not causing slippage on the roads. Well, there are plenty of people who lived their whole lives here in Missouri and cannot handle driving on it. So it's not me I'm worried about. It's not Jerry Ann and her driving that I'm worried about. It's the other people I'm worried about. Oh, God. I'm getting down to the honey part, so this is getting really sweet. Um, Excuse my voice because, like I said, I'm still waking up, and this is my half awake, half asleep voice. Or it's just my voice all the time. I don't know anymore. But anyhow, that's basically what the weather's been doing the last couple of days. It's been looking gloomy. It's been cold. It's been breezy. Hasn't dumped anything yet. So I'm on day 3 of feeling like I'm being weighed down, so to speak. The barometric pressures and the weather is just causing me to be weighed down. I have an aunt that lives in Ohio. She suffers, I wouldn't say suffers, but she deals with what is known as SAD, seasonal adjustment disorder, or something like that. Um, Now she is not. She is my aunt is basically married into my mom's side of the family via my mom's brother. Um, so whatever she has, if I'm suffering from it, which could be the case, I don't know. It's not genetic. I did not get it from her. It just is part of me. It's not a genetic coding or something like that. Now I can tell you from family and whatnot, if I have anything that's genetic, it's going to be high blood pressure, diabetes, heart problems, allergies. Um, those are the major genetic ailments that I know about. That's the honey. Um, both my parents, both sides of my family, suffer from blood pressure problems, high blood pressure, and diabetes. I only have, at this point in time, um, what do they call it? Hyperglycemia. Yeah, hyperglycemia. Um, which, granted, it is a precursor to diabetic issues. I actually was told at one point in time that I am borderline diabetic, which basically means I have to watch what I'm doing. I don't have to take any insulin or any kind of pills or anything like that. Ouch. Excuse me, that's my joints not wanting to bend. Um, Other than that, I am physically other than getting old and having precursor arthritis in my joints and back problems, I'm physically pretty healthy. Jenny and I watch our diets and whatnot. Even though lately, because of the weather, we've been eating too much junk, potato chips and potato chips, a little bit of candy because there's not much candy in this house. Basically, whatever candy's in this house right now is left over from Christmas, which ain't much because we didn't buy a lot. Sorry. Um, Anyhow, um, these are just thoughts of the day. What's going on? Um, Itchy nose. I don't want this to be too long, so I'm gonna get out of here in a second. I just wanted to let you guys know about what was on my brain this morning, what little was on my brain this morning, and yeah, that's this video for this morning. Um, wow, like I said, my brain's not functioning. Anyhow, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section, question section, whatever you want to call it. If you want to see more of this, give it a hit that bell. Boy, am I not doing so good. And YouTube will let you know when I put in new videos. Until next time, bye.